Hi everybody, welcome from Acumen Accounting. Today video is just to answer some of your questions which you have asked us about Furlough Wage scheme. There is not so much clarity in it. Government have just changed and updated some of the policies. So what we'll do is I'll go through my notes which I have just right in front of me and answer the question you have raised. So I'll just go through the list one by one, the question, and then I will reply to them. So you get to know what exactly it is. And if you have done some mistakes or you have incorrectly claimed something, you can rectify it before the HMRC come and contact you, and then you'll be ending up paying penalties and getting into the difficulty. As all of you know, there was a 80% of the staff up to £2,500 a month you can claim for the furlough. That was the scheme which government has announced. So I'll just straight go to the questions now. So the first one, it says, can my employer claim furlough till the end of October as per the government guideline? Right. If your employer is still closed and they can't open their business because of the COVID-19, then yes, they can still pay you the furlough, but the guideline is different. They can pay you up till August, and from August they have to share the information with the HMRC. It's going through their bank and paying to the staff, and from September they have to pay 60% and then top it up by from their own pocket the 20%, so they can make it up to the 80%. If they're still closed, yes, they can claim the furlough, but if they open, they cannot claim the furlough wage. It's for those who cannot work or the closed business has closed because of the COVID-19. Right, the next one on my list is my employer claiming furlough wage from government and I am working for them. Is this legal? No, this is not legal. It's absolutely illegal. If your employer had claimed the furlough, because that means your staff is not working. They can't work because of the coronavirus. So if you are still working for your employer and they're still claiming, it classed as a fraud. So if this is what happened, HMRC is coming very, very hard on it. They have created a different department, a new department basically, it's called emergency fraud department kind of thing. That's what the name they have given to you. But you need to make sure your staff is getting paid just because it's not coming to work due to this COVID-19. If your employer is claiming, it's nothing to do with you personally. If you are an employee, it's not your responsibility, but it's the employer responsibility. They have to make sure they correct it, or they shouldn't claim that. If your employer is still claiming, they might get in trouble once the HMRC come and investigate them. Right. What should we do if we overclaimed for the staff? So this is a question one of the employer. By mistake, they have overclaimed. So now HMRC already updated their online system. When you're going to claim it, they say, have you overclaimed in the previous months? You have to click that option yes, and then you can put the correction. So they will basically adjust the income accordingly. So if you have overclaimed, there is a adjustment available on the online system. So when you're claiming for example, the month of June, you just go into the system as you have claimed in the past, but this is an additional step. You just claim on yes and put whatever the overclaim you have done, and that will be, correction will be done, and nothing will happen to you. HMRC will get to know, look, no, there was a mistake, they have overclaimed and now they have done the correction. For underclaim, you still have to ring them up and speak to them on the coronavirus helpline. Right, go to the next one, which is what if I came middle of the, all right, okay. So the question is, because people ask so many questions, so I've just made a quick notes. So say, what if I came back to work in the middle of the month? Will I get furlough pay for half of the month and normal wage for the other half? Yes, that's correct. If you're back to work, for example, on 15th of June, and you are working from 15th of June, but you've been furloughed for these 2 weeks, yes, your employer will claim this 80% for these 2 weeks and pay you normal wage, which is whatever your rate is for the rest of the 2 weeks. But in future, they cannot claim any more for your furlough because you are back to work on your with your employer. So if you are coming back and during half of the month or first week of the month, yes, they can claim for that time where you've been furloughed for that month. So they just have to put the dates and claim just for these 2 weeks or 1 week or 3 weeks. It depends how long your furlough period was. So there is an option available, they can do that. How to find out my bank, in my bank this money is for the staff. Right, so what's happening is if you're self-employed and you have a staff, so people have claimed the staff furlough wage, and they have also claimed their self-employment grant scheme from the government. So this two payment came, and the people sometimes get confused which one is which. I understand sometimes your bank is if in a retail sector, or your banking is too much, your daily transactions are more, so you can see the references coming up at JRS. So it's basically job retention scheme. This is a reference from the HMRC. If that reference is in your statement, mean that money belongs to your staff. So if you have put the claim, you have to go to your working and see how much each person is you need to pay, or you can go get in touch with your accountant, and they will let you know what percentage or what the breakdown of each of the staff is. So you need to be very, very careful when you're making claims. If you have overclaimed, you have this opportunity to make the correction, and if you have underclaimed, you can ring them up and then they will do the corrections. So HMRC is coming very hard. They have made this a new department just to prevent this fraud, because they say it's just like a magnet for the opportunist. So they are looking into it, and if you have claimed the staff is still working and you're claiming the furlough, you're doing that wrong. So you need to make sure you've done the correction. Speak to your accountant and ask them these things. So if you still think we haven't answered any of your questions in there, you can leave a message or comment on this video, and we will get back to you and we'll reply your query. Again, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye for now.